string, are you with me? Round up, rainbow, curtain in the city, rushing around me. Downpour, upstream, are you with me? Feel it.
Our Trading Congress. Welcome back to the 6th edition of our Trading Congress 2024. I'm your host for today, Adrian Zdunchik, and this is going to be incredible day. Incredible day, not only because our American friends have just celebrated the Thanksgiving that happens on Thursday, right before the Black Friday. So the world is going mad today. The world is going to go crazy for the entirety of the week. The sales are going to go up basically everywhere to all the stores, all the shops all around the world. This is a celebration, I think, for any business, because that means the businesses are making money. That means that those businesses making money are actually going to typically boost earnings. That means stocks go up because of the valuations go up. That means you're making money by holding on to the stocks. So it's just a celebration time, I think, for the entirety of the world more often than not. And actually, in the world full of scammers, it's so much important to be surrounded with the right people, with people who actually know what it means to be profitable, the people who know basically how to play this game, the people that have skin in the game, the people that have lost everything and just brought it back, made even more on top of it, right? The people who can actually show you the profitable guidance, throughout the ups and downs, the bulls and the bears. They have their own kind of like profitability strategy, systems, and expertise, basically, to go on to prosper and to persist and to teach you about that. And before we get joined by our today's guest, this is a quick reminder that we are basically on this front joining board, and for everybody who's gonna basically participate in that, there is a special 50% limited discount for any partnerships, for any the memberships, if you will, for the Discord community that's been going since 2017. So go ahead. All you have to do is just scan the QR code, and it's going to get you 50% off on your favorite membership. Right on. This is time limited, so make sure to rush in. And that's the Black Friday deal. So without further ado, I'm more than happy to invite our today's incredible guest, Fefe, my friend who I just got to meet in Dubai, who's an excellent trader himself, who's a great educator, who's also Hungarian by the roots. We, the Polish people, have special love for the Hungarian people, of course, right? It always arm in arm, as they say.
Back at you, bro. Back at you, 100%. 100%.
How are you feeling, bro? Welcome to the show. How's it going?
Oh my God. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute privilege. Being, following you for such a long time, meeting you in Dubai was absolutely incredible. And now I was just tuning in on this music at the beginning. It's just so cool vibes. And I really resonated with what you said regarding, guiding through people who lost it all and made it all and made more back. I think a lot of people will feel that, every cycle we have the same story. And I think this is what makes someone like really, really successful, to having to go through losing millions and millions and the depression and then just building it all back up, and the strength that you have to build it all back up. So I was so happy to hear that. Yeah.
Oh man, I always say, and I cannot basically recommend it enough to implement this humility in terms of the way I describe myself. I'm a professional loser, right? Because I'm very good at losing money. I've been doing that for many years. Basically, I lost everything, blew up my multiple trading accounts, futures. When I traded futures, it typically blew up, with the leverage. Even if I made 10x, soon after, they just capitulated everything. So all in all, I've been through ups and downs, through all sorts of mistakes I made, to an extent that I became friends with losing. Right, losing basically is something that I do professionally, and if you do it well, you can actually be profitable on that front, right? To an extent of
It's our exactly. This is what people don't understand, is that trading is not about winning. It's not. It's a numbers game. It's like when you run a casino, the casino always loses. There are days when the casino loses $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, but that's fine because they understand that their risk management and the calculations will take them along the path in the year. And this is what a lot of people really screw up with trading, is that they hear their friends especially now, bought a meme and went 10x, it was incredible, whatever. But the thing is that trading is a game of probabilities. You find your angle, you find your edge in the market, and you execute that. And it doesn't mean that you will always be right. There will be times when you will be wrong. And especially when us, sharing our thoughts online openly, people associate our faces with the words that we say and the ideas we put out. People come in and say like, "Oh, you have gotten this wrong. You got ragged. You are an idiot." And these are the same people that don't understand the long-term thinking, which is essential in becoming profitable when it comes to trading.
That's true. And speaking of which, what's your story? What's your story to profitability, Fefe?
we don't have 8.5 hours for me to tell you the story, but very shortly, it's been a tough ride. I wish I could tell people, there is something that I will say, like, if you want peace of mind on the short term, don't become a trader. Don't, because it's gonna be, this is, in my opinion, trading, what I didn't, and we'll get into my story, but I didn't understand that trading is not whether you understand charts, whether you understand math, trading is about whether you understand yourself and whether you can control yourself and whether you can really go through that path of self-development where you can get to a level where your body and your mind, everything says go and you say no, or when everything says, don't go and you still have the courage to go. So for me, I actually was in crypto since 2016, and I've been up and down, bro. Everything that you can imagine. I've been very early investor in some of the projects. I coming from a, I'm not saying poor family, but we didn't have money. Hungary, after communism, Russians left, whatever. It wasn't like a very flourishing place. And so, yeah, making it basically from nothing. I had to borrow money to actually put it into crypto, and that's how I kickstarted everything from there. And in fast forward, I've been trading since 2018, been traveling in Asia, trading all the way, but there was BitMEX, but it's like, there was no like big leverage trading platforms. It wasn't a thing that you really trade leverage. So we traded spots, but there were like these 30, 40, 50% moves in a day on different coins, which was extreme to trade. So it was great. And then fast forward, 2021, I discovered helium, and we invested heavily into miners when there was no one. Made over $1 million in 6 months on that, which was huge for me. And but eventually didn't diversify, didn't understand the game, focused way too much on one segment, and lost it all. So much so that I was in severe debt on lawsuits, like severe, like bad. And then I turned to trading as the solution. I was like, 2018, it was easy. Like, I'm just gonna get back to it. Like, it's simple. And so I was very profitable from 2018, 2020, 2021. But then I stopped trading because I started focusing on all the stuff. And then the market just changed so much, and I went through this whole, okay, I have to start taking this like very, very seriously. And I went through like the proper depths of trading, really down to, I can really say, like edge of depression, where I remember one moment when I'm just laying in my room, in the living room, actually, just laying there and like, what am I really doing? Like, it's not gonna work. And actually, I just big shout out to my wife, who was like, you can't give up now. You've came just so fucking far. You can't give up now. You have to keep pushing. And then you just grow. And then when you realize that trading is a fight, or your self-discovery path, that's when you become profitable, in my opinion. When you realize that you have to battle your own emotions, and when you're able to do that, that's when you become profitable.
Oh man, shout out to your wife then for letting you kind of like stay here, come to the show, bro. We never can appreciate them enough. That's true, man. Although speaking of the mistakes, like I said, I'm a professional loser. I've made all sorts of possible mistakes. I can write a book just about making those mistakes, right? Which is probably gonna be quite a thick break book type of read. Although speaking of those mistakes, what's the one or two or three that is kind of like the ones that you see many people make in the bull markets?
I mean, a lot, but one of couple of main ones. One, everybody's a genius. I mean, we're getting to that now a little bit. I think the market is a little bit overheated. I'm expecting a little bit of flush here and there, not substantial in a grand scheme of things, but still, I think everybody's a genius. I remember, in 2017 when you just literally close your eyes. You're like, anything you bought, you went out, you wake up in the morning, you bought anything, you went, made a coffee, get back 20%. You're like, okay, that's going awesome. Like, come back after lunch, another 40%. I'm a freaking genius. Like, I'm gonna mortgage the house. I'm gonna like put everything in here, And so I think that's one of the things. The second is that people don't. So one of my biggest learnings from 2017, the biggest learning was that I didn't take it seriously. I was in, but I thought it was just a side gig, which I know, and I see a lot of people, especially we do all these shows as well and talk to people through schools, and people don't take it seriously. They're like, I have my job, and I'm just like putting money that I can afford to lose. I'm just going to put it in crypto. Like, that's kind of the atmosphere that we are in now. And that's my biggest mistake in 2017. And 2021, my biggest mistake is that I didn't pay attention to everything, the overall market. So I was too submerged and deep in helium, and I didn't pay attention to all the other things. So I think the other thing that people really screw up is that, other than the fact that they become very cocky and they think that they're geniuses, is they don't realize profits. They think it's going to last forever. They literally just buy and buy and buy and buy the top and leverage the house and like really just go all in. But when it comes to trading, I see the biggest mistake that people do, and I'll be very honest with you, as always, I tend to fall into, sometimes I still have to hold my back, especially when I can't really zoom in on trading, but I have all this stuff going on. I tend to fall into the overtrading category, because the bull market is actually the time. I know a lot of people think the bull market is when we trade, but the bull market is not not when I trade, because in the bull market, I can go 3 to 5x leverage. I can hold the position for 3 months. I don't have to worry about liquidation. I don't have to worry about anything. My biggest issue is funding fees. That's basically it. But in the bear market or in this consolidating market, when you have to scalp, when you have to be on the chart, when you don't know what's really going to happen, when you're shooting for 1 or 2% moves, and even that might take 3 days, that's when you trade. In the bull market, you just ride the wave. You don't trade, and that's what people really screw up and lose all their money before the actual run up could start.
Mm. So one of the biggest ones that I made was, well, of course, getting cocky, right? Because when you get cocky, when you get over kind of like confident, like it's called overconfidence bias ultimately on the emotional side, right? Which is where we make a lot of irrational choices and decisions, is because we see the situation, the kind of like the reality in a distorted way, that as if it was ideal, perfect, right? As in, we try to over perfect what we see, basically, right? And overfit it in terms of, of course, there's this confirmation bias. So each and every single tiny tick, uptick that you see in a chart is, oh yeah, I made it, like I'm the boss, like then it goes down, but you say, okay, like it's gonna go back, right? It goes back, and I'm, oh
Just
yeah, I fucking
back.
told you so, right? I told you so. We are back, and so on. And one of the biggest ones that still torments me is basically making those very, very, I think, aggressive predictions, right? Even though predictions are different than trading, of course, because you can make a prediction to the upside and still be short, for instance, and you can still make money on it, right? So prediction is completely different than trading. Although the prediction is going crazy in the peak times, basically, you're getting so excited, so kind of like detached from the reality, so detached from the charts, from the numbers, from the facts, that you start relying on this perfected vision that you have that is fooling you, basically, right? And you actually start believing those crazy aggressive predictions, even though you shouldn't, right?
Exactly.
And then, like I said, this confirmation bias, you see an update, and then you say, oh shit, I'm actually being right? This is actually going into this direction. Like Bitcoin is actually going to go for this, $500,000 like next week, maybe, yes. Right? Then there's another candle, and they say, of course it's fucking going. I'm gonna put more money into it, right? No stop loss. Like, why would we put stop loss in situation?
Exactly.
What I mean?
So much.
So,
yeah.
so that's what I think. The main, one of the main takeaways, is one of them was one of the worst calls I ever made, basically on Litecoin, for instance, that I thought we would be going $2,000 just because it was so undervalued, so underappreciated, even though it actually may go there one time, one day. I don't know. God knows whenever in the future, right? I was so exuberant in terms of like making those crazy predictions, right? because just like you mentioned, everybody was a genius. And even though I'm a CMT, I was on the path of getting all the CMT charter. It's still in the peak times when you make so much money, when you get so kind of like just, I think, emotionally into the game, right? That you just start making those mistakes, right? And they come up more and more, and they just stuck up. And it happens that if you don't control it, you basically blow up the whole thing. You know what I mean with that?
You know what? Honestly, what I really think is that, especially when it comes to like a couple of things that comes to mind. One is everybody will call. So when Bitcoin was 14, 17, whatever $1,000, and I was telling everyone to get in, like I was literally begging for family, friends, whatever, begging to get in. They were like, this shit is going to zero, bro. And when Bitcoin is like when we hit the all-time high again, so we didn't hit the all-time high, then we had the consolidation, but we hit the all-time high yet again, right? So when we got to this 80,000 territory, that's when I every single day got calls from people who I begged to buy Bitcoin, and they're like, I want to buy back. And you know what always happens, and people always miss out on, is that it will get to a point where we will be at all-time highs again, and people will call. Let's say all-time high is 150,000, 200,000. I don't know. Let's say this cycle. And people will be calling for 300,000. They'll be calling for 400,000. And these same people will be the one that will wreck themselves and their community. Now, I think it takes 3 cycles for someone to like really understand this. One, the first cycle, you're just dipping your toes. You understand this is like this little thing that I put money in before I can lose it. Second time, you go heavy, most likely, if someone really sticks around, they go heavy in and they go like, okay, I want to make some serious gains, but they don't have all the experience. The third cycle is when you already dip your toe, when you already made all the mistakes, and when you're really good. So my whole idea, or my whole vision for this cycle and going forward, this is what we do with school as well, is to really help people take this experience after 3 cycles. And if you just listen to the right people, and if you understand, this is also what you guys do, educate people on what you can really do. If you can get it right, you don't need 3 cycles. So like learning from the same mistakes. Ren is here. Come say hi, Ren. Come say hi, Ren.
He's live with Crypto Bird. I heard he's live with Crypto
Come
Bird.
say hi, eh?
Yo.
Hold on a second.
Yo, come sit down.
Yo,
What
what's
the
up?
hell?
What's up?
Wait, hold on. Put the sound in.
What's up, my man? How's it
What's
going?
up, my man? We're getting some charting wisdom here, brother.
I know, right? I know.
We're talking about overtrading. We're talking about people who will be calling for $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, and then
Oh, I thought you said overtrading.
yeah, exactly. We'll get there. We'll get there. But what do you think? How does that work out? So, like, we're talking about the fact that people wreck themselves because they will be calling for more and more and more, and how the greed plays into this.
The story of the tortoise and the hare, my friend. It's the hare. The tortoise always wins. The hare thinks he's winning, but lands up self-destructing. So, I mean, like I'm looking at the market today. I've got such FOMO. I missed out on these AI agents, and I missed out on this, and I missed out on that. But my portfolio is at an all-time high. So, look, I'm like, and I've done nothing. I literally have done nothing. So it's like I think there's a lesson in that. I think you don't need to trade a lot, and you don't need to trade with a lot of leverage, because I think you got one chance to get this right, and the market's going up so high, so fast. Why do you want to still take a chance and fuck it up? So stupid.
Well, it's so interesting. This is our discussion for a day ago, right? Because I've been down the trenches, and it also helps and whatever. And he's telling me, don't do it. You're overtrading for no reason. And this is exactly what this is about. And we're gonna lean into that.
Well, that's what I said. I think we should take the bet for fun, not for the bet. I mean, you should lose something, or I should lose something. But the idea is to
hold on. We took one bet. What happened there? Okay, cool. So now I just want to make it back up. I understand. Okay.
Let's have a real bet. The bet is you do your style of trading with your 50x, 20x, 20, and I just do my style of trading. I buy once and I hold and we see in 3 months who's richer. We start with the same amount of money this time, so that there's no big accounts, small accounts. We both put $10,000 in the account.
Okay.
I'm not going to overtrade.
You make it public or what?
Public, yeah, public.
Okay, but then let's pick the tokens as well.
No, it's good.
No. You have no.
I mean, maybe you want me to show you my underpants also.
No, yeah. No, we have to know what tokens we can. Let's pick 10 tokens.
You can trade whatever you want.
No, let's take 10 tokens.
You can trade whatever you want.
That's
available on an exchange. That's fair.
Okay.
As long as it's available on the exchange. Like
if we can take 10, if we pick the 10, 15 tokens, That's good. Everyone is like, what the heck just happened here?
No, I think that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. The way to do it is
Yeah.
I'll trade my way, you trade your way.
Yeah.
3 months, the same amount of money, and then we'll see what's left. What with the end to see what's left.
Yeah. Let's.
Because I know you're gonna go 50x like last time, and you're gonna wreck yourself.
Yeah, but I also know that you have much more knowledge on the industry and see behind the lines that I don't. So, like, if we don't take the right tokens, if we don't trade the same tokens, I have a massive
I
disadvantage.
have no inside information.
Never.
Never.
You see Rand Pence, please. You see someone is asking for it.
Rand Pence, what's up? What's up with that?
Yeah, he was just saying that he would just show his underwear if I want to know the tokens.
Okay, I got
as well, you know?
I think these are my good underwear. Hold on a second.
No, don't just, you're gonna get them.
Hold on. No, let him do it. That's gonna pump up views for
Yeah,
us.
come on, good
Do
one,
it.
You guys are gonna get banned now. That's what's
Why
gonna
did
happen.
Why did you fucking stop, bro? You should have gone.
Yeah, exactly. would have gone viral. Would have gone viral.
Bro, at least.
Same color as your
at least-
shirt, bro.
Huh?
It's the same color as your shirt.
Is it really?
Same color as your shirt, bro.
Cool.
It's
Is
the
that a
matching
golf
underwear.
shirt? Hold on.
Granny's
is that a
all
golf
about the
shirt?
speedos and underwears. He takes bets with people in the office on like who has to live stream in underwear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
So what are we trading? I came here because I heard there was some trades.
we're talking about over trading. That's gonna be the main subject that we'll discuss.
Verb, how many trades do you do like in a month? Like how many times you open and close trades?
Not many, man. Not many. 2, 3.
Okay, I think I trade a bit more than you.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I used to do it more, except that I mean, see, on Bitcoin, for instance, right? It depends because the typical average time is basically average trade duration is like 18 days. But in the choppy situation, like you got, for instance, like past couple of days, the signal, well, you got a big run from basically 71 all the way to, well, almost 100, basically, or practically 100 on the CME. But it knocked me out 94,000. Right, so it was a run basically from 70 all the way to 93, so 23k per Bitcoin gain, right? And then it's kind of like knocked me out. It was literally on the 94. It just dipped towards like 91, and it pumped right back at it, right? So that's the situation. It typically knocks me out, gets the bear signal, and then immediately runs back, and it kind of like triggers the buy signal, and it runs down, it just falls down, triggers another bear signal. So that's the choppy situation, and chop like that. When it goes sideways, probably that may consolidate back up next couple of weeks.
So what do you reckon now? Do you reckon now there's going to be a dip, or are you calling it above? What happens first? 95, 90 or 100, bro?
That's
90 or 100. I think
Yeah,
it's
especially
going to
go with
over.
100.
No, I said
I think it's going to overshoot 100 a little bit.
really. You
Yeah.
think 100
I don't-
first?
Well, hold on. We're closer to 100. Like it's gonna be easier to press towards 100. Like it's 97 right now. I think I don't think it's gonna break like towards like 120 immediately, right? What I think is it's just doing right now. It's because of whatever our imagination does, right? Just kind of like stall at 100k. So it's most likely gonna chop in between like 80, maybe 85 or 90, towards 100. It's not gonna let it slip like just like that, to the upside. Though at the same time, it's just building this base for the powerful breakout soon after, right? Towards this Trump inauguration, most likely. So I see December sort of like, first half of December being a little bit more corrective, most likely. So it's going to be, anywhere between 100k and I could imagine 80k, for instance, right? For whatever reasons, it may just chop around and just slide towards 80 and just run back at it towards like 90, like it's nothing.
I think Raoul Paul came on my show yesterday. He said Max Payne is one more leg up. Max Payne is like one more leg up to like 110, and that'll shake out all the naysayers. He could be right.
But the problem is, I mean, it can be true, right? At the same time, like I said, I don't think to push us through 100k, of course, right? All it does is just have one more buy from one or two more buys from Michael Saylor. So that's very simple, right? All the funds are pouring in at the same time. The entire kind of like a December is the weakest of the Q4, basically, right? December is the weakest of the Q4 because you've got a powerful bottom set up, in September, typically August, September, like it was this year. Textbook, by the way.
Yeah.
It runs back October, November. The gains wise, it just produces like 80% of the gains at all, basically, throughout the entire. And December not giving too much fuck because they are celebrating. Like, but many people celebrate other just time of vacation. They just New Year's time Eve and just taking off. And this is where the market slowed down, but they typically run up towards the end of the year, towards the New Year's Eve, basically, and the Santa Claus rally, so it's called, so called, right? So most likely end of the year, kind of like a run. Like, just see what happened 2020.
Usually we get a pullback before the Santa Claus rally, so we usually get.
So that's what I mean.
Pullback.
The Black Friday.
That's exactly
pullback.
what I mean.
Thanksgiving massacre.
Yeah, but so we didn't get it this time. We got 8% this year. That's not a pullback.
That's a pullback.
If you look back, though, it always happens on Black Friday. So that's what I did yesterday on the show. So it happens on Black Friday and then after 3-4 days. So if we get a pullback, we get it now.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, right? I mean, it may happen that we're not going to break. I mean, we're closer to it, so trying to tag it maybe, or just slip, towards like 98, 99 right below. Otherwise, I'm with you. I think, that it's possible that we're going to see all those 20-30% pullbacks like out of nowhere. The problem is that many people expect them to be as mild as they were before, but the problem is that we're going to have one more zero, right? So 20% pullback on 100K, well, okay, it's 20,000, but if we actually pull up to 200,000, right, and all of a sudden 30% slide, that you see at the peak time volatility, 30% slide out of 200,000 is basically 60K per one day. That's a lot of money, right? To be lost.
How do you define overtrading? What is overtrading for you?
I mean, I think it's unnecessary trading. Well, like, you ask yourself, why are you getting into trade? If you're getting in because of FOMO, or you're getting in because you want the adrenaline rush, that you're probably overtrading it. If you're getting in because it's part of your thesis and like you do it, like, then that's a good trade. Like, I think, to be honest, now if you're buying anything, you're probably overtrading.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, what the fuck are you buying now? Now you're supposed to be riding your gains. You should be enjoying your gains. You don't be. I don't know if there's anything to buy right now in the market. I don't know if I would.
So I believe that I'd rather buy it. So if we go, there will be a pullback at some point. There's no question. Maybe it's going to be from 130K. Maybe it's going to be from 140. I don't know. But one thing is that you want to ride with the trend. Now that you're peaking the high and whatever, buying here, especially on leverage, is completely idiotic. You should definitely not do that. Just wait for a flush and then buy into the red. When everybody will say, oh, this was the bull market. Then we're down 20, 25, 40% maybe on some odds. Maybe again, it comes from 140K. But down, and everybody will say, "Oh, that was it. Nice, crypto bros, have fun." That's what
I mean, now also funding is high. Like, you saw how funding is eating up my profits on that account.
Yeah, yes.
And that's a fucking good trade, bro.
Yeah.
I did a trade on ETH. I mean, I bought a big position on ETH, and I paid already in funding. We worked out 2.5% in less than a month.
Yeah.
You're paying like 2.5% in less than a month. That's like, you're paying like 50% a year. So if ETH doesn't grow 50% a year, your trade's underwater. Yeah.
And for some people out there, like, you might be thinking 2.5% is not a lot, but if you start scaling it up, if you start scaling up to 1 million, to 2 million, 2.5% on that is actually substantial.
Yeah, well, at least you have Formula One tickets for it, so you can just go and enjoy.
I mean, I took a $7 million position, and I've paid in less than a month. I've paid $150,000 in funding.
What the fuck, man? I mean,
that's
the market,
money,
right?
That's a lot of fucking money to pay $150,000 in funding, bro. Jesus.
Yes,
and the worst thing is like, if my wife asked me to buy her a gift for $150,000, I was like, I don't know, you fucking crazy, bro. But like, I'm paying that in funding. Like you can take your family on a yacht, but you'd never take your family on a yacht because it's too expensive. But I paid it in fucking funding, bro.
Well, I don't have much to say about that, right? It's pretty much correct for what he mentioned.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a mindset thing. You got to change your mindset about how you spend. Like, if I walk into a store, right, and there's a T-shirt, and the T-shirt is like $250, I won't buy it because it's too expensive. Yeah. But I waste that money on gas. I mean, the funding today.
Gas is a thing, a meme. You just ape into a meme.
No,
you know layer 3.
maybe the problem is that we've lost perspective because we're in crypto, right? Because like, Burb, can you walk into a store and buy like a $500 T-shirt? You can't, right?
I know exactly what you mean. There's a psychological blockage. I so much more prefer to actually put it, somewhere else other than a T-shirt.
Yeah, well, exactly. Also, I just feel like, but then I paid $150,000 in funding to some guy I didn't even know. I didn't even see the guy. It's like a system. I don't even know who lent me the money, bro.
I mean, it would be worse if you wouldn't be up on the position. So like, you still have not much.
If I was down and I said I lost 150, I'd be fucking.
Well,
dead,
on the bright side, when you were doing that on FTX, you were also funding the government, right, and the Congress. So, on the bright note.
Oh wait,
it's
who
not
takes the
anymore.
funding? The funding is peer to peer, isn't it?
Fortunately, I think.
I mean, part of the, because there's a taker and there's on the funding side, right? Of course, for the futures, like there is the taking side and then the actual giving side. So it's distributed between that, right? So that the buyers, the buyers pay sellers, and the other way around, kind of like depending what the market conditions these are. Although ultimately, the entire portion, of whatever volume comes up, it's still stored on an exchange, right? So there are ways around that.
Bro,
Red is gonna be off now. He's like, I gotta make some calls. I think that's what's gonna happen.
this shit. No, this funding game is. I mean, I'm
Look
learning.
at him, he's opening up the position.
I know. I mean, I learned a lot about funding. Yeah, look, here's the position over here. You can see it. See, I paid $121,000 in funding. I paid. I don't know if you can see the thing.
Yeah.
$121,000 I paid in funding. Can you see the rate?
Yeah.
121. I mean, gee, my wife knew that I paid 121,000.
Now she knows.
I mean, that's a Lamborghini, isn't it? How much is a Lambo?
Oh shit!
Used
I
one.
mean, the small one, like a toy.
No, I use where you can get
Wait,
one.
the Lambo you took me to once into the airport in a Lambo. Do you remember the yellow one
Yeah.
or the green one? Was it green or yellow? Do you remember? It was one of those 4x4 Lambos.
So listen, I got mine for. So funny story. I actually got mine 40% off. I told you that. I bought a brand new Lambo, and I bought it 40% off. Basically.
How did you do that?
Oh, there you go. I have very good lawyers.
Can they get me off to not pay the funding?
40% off of funding.
No, but all in all, like a proper, fresh off the store, you gotta pay probably like €500,000 and more, right? So it's like 600K maybe or so dollars. Still, I mean, you hold it 2 months longer, and you just kind of like spend a Lambo on that funding.
So I went down here in the Ferrari dealership, and they have like $250,000. They have a used one now.
So should we go tell them, look at the funding account.
Yeah.
Look,
Crazy.
I'm up on the trade, but I mean the problem is if it pulls back, because ETH can pull back, and if ETH pulls back, I'm fucked. Then I got to pay funding and I got to pay the profits.
Yeah, I tell you what. I mean, ETH. So many, like, are you on the train that ETH is gonna break like 20,000 or not so much this cycle? Let's debate about that.
ETH, I don't know. The way I see ETH is a bunch of people, very, very, very smart people, and lots of these very, 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 very smart people, right? And all they're doing is trying to solve a problem that somebody else already solved. That's it. Imagine spending your whole life trying to solve a problem like this because you don't want to look here and go, oh, so I want to solve this.
we were on a spiritual weekend this weekend, and Ren is like, after the meditation and whatever.
We went and me and Fefe and I went and did ayahuasca this weekend. We did a ayahuasca.
You did?
retreat. Yeah, me and Fefe did it together.
And then he wakes up literally from the trip. He's like,
no, wait.
Let me
tell you the whole story, right?
Yo, give the details, bro.
First of all, I'm trying to relax in my trip, right? I'm trying to chill
as much as you can in an ayahuasca trip.
Yeah, I'm trying. And all I'm hearing from Fefe's side of the room is okay. And I'm trying to listen to the music. The shaman's playing the guitar, trying to sing his music, and all I'm hearing is
Yeah. Well, ACDC vibes.
I'll tell you one thing. The reason why Ren heard that is because when you do ayahuasca with Ren, so here's how he walks up for the cup. You have to take a cup, right? Here's what he does. He has like grapes in his hand, and he's like, and then he goes like, he takes the cup, and he's the grape like this, and then in 10 minutes he's like out, and then he's just enjoying the ride. But after the trip he came out, he was like, I solved it. People on ETH are just trying to solve a problem that's already been solved. They just can't look aside, like literally in the ceremony place. So he's like,
I don't believe that. I don't believe
started
that.
selling his ETH stuff. It's like,
No, I don't believe that.
ETH.
That didn't
I'm
happen.
telling you, I woke up from a ayahuasca retreat first thing I did was close a whole lot of longs. Like, she's like,
Literally.
ICP will never work. And I had a big ICP position. She's like, ICP will never work. Close the long.
Yeah.
She's like, you got too much ETH exposure. Close eigenlayer. She's like, nobody wants to use ETH. Why would they want to use ETH to restake to secure another blockchain on ETH? I mean, good point.
Who told you that? That was the shaman, or who was it?
No, it was Mother Ayahuasca. It was Mother Nature. Mother Nature, she told me.
You should come with us for the next one. It's in here.
What
you
the
should come
hell?
Fly over.
Bro, I need to close my positions before I go. Jesus.
Yeah, you see?
No, look, I closed a couple of really silly positions that I had open, and I think I did okay.
But I'm gonna tell you the truth. So a day before we did it, it was like I'm opening up this position and this position and this position, and then the next day, yeah, it's like
Ayahuasca told me you're overtrading because you're addicted to leverage. She might be right. I was addicted to she says I'm addicted to a number going up on my screen, which is leverage.
That's a good addiction.
It's not a good addiction.
As long as it's going up, it's a good addiction, right?
Look,
as long as if you are good at it, it's not an addiction.
Okay, wait. Let
That's
me
what
ask you.
he's
When you
saying.
wake up in the morning, Burb, do you greet your wife or do you look at the Bitcoin price first? Which one do you do first? Honestly,
Fuck me.
Fefe, and you also.
we know it's the second one. We know don't think we know it's the second one. Nobody's watching, you know. We know.
Yeah, no. No,
But someone here, I see someone here.
The problem is that even if I go, take a piss in the night, for instance, I take my phone, right? And that's basically, I drop a tweet.
I started in the middle of the night when I want to go to the toilet in the middle of the night. I take my phone as the torch, but then I always quickly look at the Bitcoin price, and then from that point I can't sleep. I can't sleep, bro.
So that's what I mean. So that's the situation when you go up, so many times in a night. That is just, but that's why I'm saying, like, if you're good at it, they say, that if you're good at it, it's not addiction, right? If you're good at the numbers going up, it's not addiction.
Going to this, honestly, I think this is because even overtrading is not only overtrading, but actually being overly in the market. Like if you look at the price of the time and you're not trading, it's the same thing.
Why I disagree with you? Because this is a market where there's 100,000 tokens.
Yeah.
So even if you spend like you spend time looking at the thing, you can't learn all the tokens.
Yeah, but still,
there was a time.
If you're addicted to the charts, you are overtrading. You are over. Like if you only talk about trains and you wake up in the morning and you think about trains and you only do trains, it's cool for a time being. But like if you're only focusing on trains and you're not being able to just step out, enjoy, nature, enjoy family, enjoy whatever, you're overtrading. You know what I mean?
Do you know a token called AI16Z?
No.
You don't know AI16Z?
No.
You know what AI? See, I'm just looking at AI16Z is an AI agent that's created by Andreessen Horowitz. It's a fund manager AI agent, and the idea is for the AI fund manager to beat the real A16Z fund manager in returns.
Okay.
That's
the AI CEO. Is that the
AI16?
AI
I'm just saying, what I'm trying to show you is there's so many tokens now that you need much more time. You just need much more time.
Yeah.
See, Alisa.ai. I've actually got this token. Fuck, AI agents are running, eh? Wow.
and we lost him. This is a good representation of overtrading.
No, this is different. This is overlearning. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn there.
So what are you diversifying into? Like, what was the top positions you guys are holding right now?
Bitcoin, Solana, Arweave, Rune, Bitcoin, Solana, Arweave, Rune, Injective Protocol, Render.
All right.
Holding Render.
Yeah, Thorchain, Rune. I've got a lot. I think Rune's going to go. Phantom. I own a big position in Phantom. I own a big position in Drift. So yeah, I mean, I've got some good positions.
Honestly, I'm just about to rework mine. I was like, I'm in a wide west, so I have everything and then all across the board. So now I'm just gonna probably sell everything and just reorganize everything for the next leg up. But I do think a flush is coming, so it would be great to like kind of organize it in a way on buying back on the bottom. Yeah. But
I'm gonna go study ICP because apparently it does work. I need to go and study it. Love you guys, Burb. Much love, my brother.
Thanks for tuning in, eh?
Thanks for the financial tips straight from ayahuasca. Jesus.
Yeah, that's wild, though, bro. You have to come with us. It's actually incredible. It's actually quite. You know that Ren is like a big. He got me onto it, and he's done it like 16 times.
What?
16. I think he's done it like 16 weekends and 16 weekends and like 30 times
This year?
No. It's like ever. But he's been doing it for 15 years now. It's true. This was my 4th journey and my 2nd weekend. It's wild. Mother ayahuasca gives you things that you don't know, and yeah, it's incredible. I know this thing didn't go.
Except for puking. What's that?
Yeah, no, but that's also, a lot of people miss, and this is not the show to do that, but I'd love to just jump on any other show and discuss with you because it's awesome. But like, what people misunderstand with puking is that ayahuasca needs to cleanse you. There needs to be a cleaning physically and mentally. So a lot of times when you actually puke on an ayahuasca journey, where people say, "Oh my God, you pee and poo and whatever." First of all, you don't poo, but second, when you actually puke, you get rid of negative traumas, energies. So a lot of times it sounds like you're puking, but because you're fasting, you don't actually puke. You don't puke nothing physically out, but you have the whole sound and everything. But while you're in the journey, you see that negative stuff that you needed to get rid of, and it goes out of you. So it's actually quite interesting, but that's for another story. I know we kind of hijacked this thing.
Listen, it's still going around trading, right? I mean, one way or another. So speaking of the diversification, run kind of like, shared huge stuff. Like how do you position? How do you diversify? Like, do you have separate portfolios as in meme coin portfolio or DeFi portfolio, gaming portfolio? Like, what is it?
Yeah, I'll be very honest with you. And I know these people will be disappointed, but this is the truth. I've been focusing on like really making money. That's what I did in the past 6-7 months. And that means that I honestly don't even know what I had. So I have a bunch of Solanas because I was down to the trenches and I was trading in and out with like probably 52 different wallets. And so I have all that still on chain. So I don't even know how much Solana I hold. But I do have like a core portfolio very, very similar to Ren's. I don't really hold Bitcoin. The reason why I don't hold it, because I had, as you said, I had a long open as well in 3x leverage. I closed most of that. I'm waiting for the flush and I'm going to open it up again. The reason why I do 3x leverage is because I don't need to worry about being liquidated on Bitcoin if I do 3x leverage 75% of that sub account. So Bitcoin needs to go down 40-50%, which is not going to happen in the next 6 to 8 months, in my opinion, at least. So like I don't really hold Bitcoin spot, but I do hold Bitcoin leverage. I don't really hold ETH. So in general, I don't think I will get in. So I'm just waiting for this thing. I think December usually is the bottom for ETH. So I'm looking for that ETH bottom. But that's just, you don't marry that trade. You just date with it a little bit, And then I have these one night stands as well, when you just have, you just have some dirty memes. You just go one night stand for 2, 3, 4 days, and then you get out after 5x. Like that's kind of. But I want to do my core portfolio now that we have broken out of this massive consolidation. I want to go back, and actually I'm going to do, I literally just tweeted today, and I said that I'm going to do a portfolio show as well, because it's time for me to like really dig. It's probably going to take me 2 days to just go through all the wallets and like organize everything. And then I'm just going to probably create a portfolio. I actually wrote some of them down here, but in general, it's like very much what Red said. Sol ecosystems, so Jupiter Radium. I'm going to look at some Murad memes because I think he has a point. So I'm probably going to get into those. Some other different memes. Obviously, Layer 1's Layer 2. So I'm looking at Rune, AR, based AI, Sui as well. FTM on Sonic, I'm super, super bullish. So I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be very interesting. I'm going to buy dinosaur memes. So I'm going to get some Doge with maybe not Pepe, but we'll see. And then I think privacy is something that is interesting. So I think with this Tornado Cash thing that just came out, that is basically been deemed that the court didn't act as they should have, and that there is no legal basis to hold one person or entity accountable for what the protocol does. I think that will be actually interesting to see how it turns out. So and I'm extremely big on ordinals, NFTs on Bitcoin. I know people call me crazy. Are you involved at all in ordinals and NFTs on Bitcoin?
No, I actually missed it. Man. I mean, on the ordinals, that's something that I'm a trader, right? So finding those different narratives, of course, takes time. And in my particular case, you would have to choose whether you want to trade actively or you want to kind of like go and scale into those new narratives. I mean, so I deliberately kind of like chose to miss it on the ordinal. I'm not saying no to it, maybe, but it's not going to be something that I just go heavy right into.
Yeah, so for me, what is very interesting to see is that I have. So for me, it's it's massive. So ordinals for me opened my eyes. Actually being able to inscribe on the Bitcoin blockchain, occupy a Satoshi that is yours, and then leave it there forever. It's something that we haven't seen before. So I'm actually super bullish on ordinals. Gonna get some NFTs on ordinals, and I know people don't see it yet, but it's legacy. So I talked to a guy called Ian. He's the chief experience officer at Ledger. He's been running Louis Vuitton, and he's like working with Tim Cook, and he's been saying like, will people talk about punks in 50 years? And I'm like, I think they will. And he's like, if they will, it's a buy, you know? And now whether people, like, I think when everything will be on NFTs, our identity will be on NFTs, when basically every government entity will run on some kind of NFTs or inscribe things onto some kind of blockchain, we also go and watch the steam engine in the museum, because it's something that you want to see how our cars evolve that will fly in 2 years, 3 years time. You want to see where it could come from. And that's very similar with punks. It's the same thing. And that's a very similar thing with some of the ordinal NFTs, in my opinion, especially if we see Bitcoin heading to the direction it is heading. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, I got you. I mean, there was a question about, I think about how funding works. So real quick, right, before we wrap the show with Fefe, like what those kind of like funding rates basically are, you know, they switch between long and short traders, right? So when the rates are positive, when the funding is positive, basically it means that the longs pay to shorts. And when the funding is negative, it means that the shorts pay to longs, right? So it defines which is more expensive and basically to hold based on basically the amount of shorts and longs in the market. And at the same time, that gives you a picture and outlay of demand and supply and what's happening on the buy and sell pressure, right? So you can deduct this basically and just, you know, have a picture of it. And besides, of course, it costs a lot, just like Ron mentioned, you know, 150K in fees or so, you know, it becomes very expensive at times. So all in all, final question, Fefe, before we go, what's the kind of like a one pick, one trade that you feel is going to be the king of 2025?
Say it again. I couldn't hear you. What is one trade?
One trade that is going to be the king of 2025.
Oh, it's a big one. Definitely a meme, unfortunately. It's definitely a meme. But honestly, I'm going to give you a weird answer. I think maybe not for 2025, but I think ETH is going to surprise a lot of people. I think we're going to have a hated rally in ETH. Everybody was burying it, and it's holding this level where we are right now, maybe 20% lower. I do think that ETH can catch a bit, especially if we see... Now, it's going to be interesting. One is base. So for me, the base ecosystem in general, it's, I think, with Brian Armstrong going in bed with Trump and just really advising and whatever, I think base itself from Coinbase was huge already, but the fact that he's advising the new administration on how to move forward is just, you know, making it even bigger. So the base ecosystem and memes on base, I think, are going to be one of the biggest trades, in my opinion. And for some reason, I do believe that ordinals will have a comeback. I do think that when people realize that you can really inscribe things onto Bitcoin, so that's my newest thing realization that ordinals are a thing. So I think that's also going to be interesting. But honestly, memes, like literally, I think it's going to be memes.
Crazy. All right. Well, we're gonna revisit that 1 year from now and see where we are. Besides, I think, you know, on that note, I think NFTs have been dead for quite a while, quite a long time, but you know the deads are coming back from the grave. So it seems that, you know, all the diner coins are pumping, all the I wouldn't be surprised, just like Fefe said, you know, for all the ordinals to come back again. And it's all kind of like liquidity when people do not have, you know, when people have made a lot of money on the oversaturated markets, you know, in crypto. So it's kind of like aftermath of the alt season and so on. They search for all those luxury stuff, for buying new cars, for buying new houses, new jets, right? So all those different types of arts and bananas glued to the walls. And at the same time, that's where NFTs pick up as well. That's where maybe ordinals are going to pick up. So the long forgotten stuff. Either way, listen, I mean, it's been quite a show. Ron is definitely, you know, one of the highlights for the discussion. So that's awesome. You guys joined. It's awesome that he called him to come. Yeah. And I mean, I'm a big fan of you. It seems that we're gonna have to do it one more time, and not only one more time, actually do it much more often. And
100%.
Yeah, well, the final message to the people, bro.
Yeah, I just think stay level-headed, enjoy the ride, take profits, and choose your sources wisely. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. It's not about how much content you consume, it's about what type of content you consume and what quality. So yeah.
And on that note, I cannot recommend enough for everybody to go ahead and follow Fefe on Twitter on X, Fefe Demeny, exactly what his name lights up right now in the screen. Exactly this,
Thank you.
Fefe Demeny. Go ahead and give him a follow, more than well deserved. 30, almost 5,000 people try fitting that in one room. It's pretty heavy and difficult, or rather impossible.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you, brother. Anytime, and let's make that happen on Banter as well. Would love to have you on for a discussion.
Oh, we will. And for everybody who's watched, I appreciate you tuning in. And as we wrap, we actually want to give a proper shout out and highlight to our partners, as well, and sponsors at DYDX, at Bybit, at Cointel, and Dragon's Land, to make sure you give them a follow as well. We're incredible brands. And final reminder about the Black Friday offer. It's still live. All you have to do is just scan the QR code, and basically you're going to be able to get access to all the materials, all the guidance, all the stuff from me, from my team. Basically, that it's going to make it a little bit easier for you to stop missing out on all those pumps, all those crazy rallies. Grab early on those gems, and at the same time stop getting wrecked in the market, right? Because at times maybe you're trading the wrong market, and all you have to do is just find the right people. Fefe is one of them. Otherwise, go ahead and scan the QR code, and you're going to have more out of the right people. God bless you all. See you around. Thanks for the show. Let's roll on to the next one. Bye-bye.
Take care, brother.